Okay, I'm gonna try to do a no death and full secrets run because out of all of the Asian people playing the game, I haven't seen one person who could figure out what the hell is going on with any of the game's secrets. And so basically, I guess I'll do a little commentary here too. You have to be Hagar to do all of the secrets in the game. So the first tweak, basically, obviously is saving Jessica early. Notice here how I'm, immediately going for the health pickups because all of these enemies can, pick up your health pickups, and the key to really doing this without dying is pretty much picking up as much health as you can on the levels that have a lot of destructible objects. Now there are some things to keep in mind here. If you're really playing as smart as you possibly can, you want to allow enemies who can't pick up weapons to destroy the items. If you're a character who can use weapons, you actually don't want to break these things, because the way the game works is when you break a drum can, it checks to see if your character can use weapons, and if your character can, when it's calculating the random item to drop, it's gonna put those items basically on its table. So like if you're Cody or something, when you break a drum can, it's going to go like, okay, well, you can use knives, you can use swords, you can use Molotovs, you can use, pipes, etc. And it's the same thing with this character, obviously. So I mean, really, if you're trying to optimize how much health you can get, see there, I got a sword. See, so, and it tends to be kind of skewed, actually. So in some respects, these characters almost have a disadvantage because they're not always going to be getting health pickups when they there, when I broke that crate, see, I got a weapon. So characters like Abigail, actually have an advantage in some sense, because when they break those things, they're only going to get food out of them. The other note here is that I'm playing with 11 base enemies, which is quite a few, and I've seen some dumb assholes say like, "Oh man, this game's so easy. You can just keep getting health, and you can just keep using the special moves." And then you see them playing it, and they're playing it with like one enemy. It's like, yeah, I know it's easy when you're only fighting one fucking enemy, but obviously it wasn't made for that. I mean, the reason your character is so fucking powerful is because you're meant to be taking on, a dozen enemies at once. So there are going to be a lot of things to juggle here, literally, once I, start bringing in all of the different, secret modifier things. And basically, you can, there are obviously patterns on all of the enemies that you're going to want to watch for, if you want to avoid getting hit. You notice here, for example, too, I intentionally didn't break the door early, because when you break the door, it's going to trigger the enemy spawn point that brings in more enemies from the right side of the screen. So if you clear out what you have and then break the door, you can just get out. So that's something else too. It's the same thing here. Like, the longer you wait here, there are going to be enemies who start to come from the stairs. And so basically, in a sense, if you really want to end this quickly and not have to deal with a ton of enemies at the same time you're fighting the boss, you really kind of want to end this as soon as possible. Yeah, so basically I kind of categorize the characters by generic names. I refer to 2P and J as the punk characters. Like the standard guys, like Bread and Simons and all those, they call those, the thugs. But so basically, the punk guys, 2P and J, they're assholes. They will attack you with their charging attacks when you have your back to them. So you almost never want to, not be facing those guys because they're sneaky assholes, and they will go for you. You can see here, see how these fuckers they try to get behind you, and when they're there, see like there, that fucker tried to charge attack me. So that's why, to really play this effectively, you'll notice that I'm walking backwards a lot. In the game's controls, you can see that there's the hold direction input, and basically I'm holding it half the time. Like I spend a lot of time basically just kind of kiting the enemies around, running away from them. Because like I said, a lot of these characters, they'll do shit to you when you're not facing them. So it is something to look out for. The other thing too is, you can push the drop input to drop weapons that you're holding, and if you push that when you're jumping, it'll throw your weapon. If you're one of the characters who can throw. And so that's always an option if you want to clear some stuff out. Another thing too, another technique that I don't think a lot of people really even know how to do is unlike the original Final Fight game, the colliders for the characters when they interact with the world actually change when there are different animations. And so you notice, like, when Hagar does his dive bomb, he actually gets pretty low. He actually gets pretty low to the floor when he does it. And so something that's always useful to do, that I always like to do, is you can basically dive bomb a weapon, knock the weapon into midair, and then when the weapon is bouncing in midair, you can use the strong attack to knock that weapon through the enemies, and actually do a lot of damage with that. It's a useful way to kind of clear out enemies who are far away from you, because for the most part, especially this character, it's not like it's Belger, he's a melee character, so it gives you a way to actually do range attacks on people by knocking things into them. And so another thing too, so like Poison, their charge attacks never move along the Z axis. And so if you see them kind of bouncing towards you, you pretty much just want to just step up or down, and they won't be able to get you. These Molotov assholes, one nice thing you can do is you can use your strong attack to knock the weapon that they throw at you back into them. It's kind of risky unless you really have the timing down, but it's just one of those things where it's fun to do. I mean, the only reason I might not screw around with it so much is that, like I said, I'm trying to do a secrets run, and so that's going to be kind of a pain in the ass to do. See there, it was probably stupid to do that. I probably should have let one of the enemies actually, break those things. Yeah, and so with the Elgato and Hollywood characters, so the way they work, and what you have to watch out with them, is that if you're just standing still, they will do their charging slide towards you. So if they do that, it doesn't have a lot of vulnerability on its hitbox. It has a shitload of priority, and so it's really dangerous. And here, I'll show you. I'm going to do a dive bomb on this sword, and then when the sword is in midair, I'm going to knock it into these cocksuckers. See that? See, so you can. That's always an option, dive bomb to knock up and then knock in. I mean that's the kind of shit that that's like the whole point of this game. If you're not doing this shit, you might as well play Final Fight in MAME. And you can see too how, like, the other thing that these Elgato and Hollywood do that makes them bitches is that they will charge slide you when you jump towards them. So they are kind of anti-air. You're generally better off not doing that. I mean, like his dive bomb has a lot of priority, so you can sometimes get away with it depending on how far away from him you are. But the most effective way to get rid of those assholes is just to, basically, don't stay still. Walk straight towards them and just punch them. And see how when I did that, I didn't get, he didn't do the slide because I was moving. If I had been kind of pensive and hadn't been moving, he would have done the slide and hit me. So that's basically what those characters do. They punish, not being aggressive. And they also punish just kind of mindlessly. I'm gonna get hit by that. They punish just kind of mindlessly, jumping into them. The other thing too is you want to keep in mind it's like a really useful technique is when you knock enemies into the air. You can kind of keep cycling between the strong attack and the weak attack. Aerial attacks kind of do a lot of damage, but because those two attacks have different hitboxes, different priorities, there are times when you might not want to just go nuts and keep cycling between them. You might want to actually let one of the jump attacks, for example, play out because it's going to have priority and hit the enemies that are walking towards you or doing something. So that's something else to keep in mind. You might see like some instances where I do that. See, and also keep in mind that you can hold these guys over the fire and do massive damage to them. In fact, it's kind of too bad I didn't get to show it, but if you get really lucky on the slums exit stage and the trash cans that you destroy in there, drop a Molotov, the fastest way to kill Damned is to actually throw a Molotov on the ground, break the door, pick up Damned, and then just hold him over the fire. You can basically just like instantly just wipe him out doing that because the holding him over the fire will do so much fucking damage. And also, I didn't show it there as well, but keep in mind that you can pick up a character and actually carry him through the subway, carry him to the next stage. And that's kind of like a general thing that you can keep all of your items across stages, and that's one of the main things that you have to do to actually do all of the secret stuff. Yeah, see here how I'm trying to go for the items as soon as possible because I don't want to lose those to the enemies. As I said, you will get really fucked if you don't stay on top of those items. To the point where you'll notice there that I actually dropped one of the enemies because I instantly wanted to pick up that. I instantly wanted that health pickup. If you're carrying an enemy, you can't pick up items, and so you'll see that sometimes. See like how here, if I'm grabbing this guy, I'll push the drop button, I'll just drop it, and then I'll quickly pick shit up. So that's all stuff to consider. Like I said, there's times where you want to drop enemies. Oh, see that fucker's going for the ruby. And see here, I'm just trying to clear this out as fast as possible. Fuck it. See, and in some cases too, see like in that case, it probably wasn't actually worth it to go for the ruby. Like, if there are a lot of enemies that are really surrounding the pickups, it can really not be worth it because what can happen is they can hit you, and then when you get knocked down, one of those assholes will just go over and pick it up. So basically, you get hit for nothing, and then you don't even get that pickup, which kind of sucks. Yeah, so I mean, basically, the main secrets here are going to involve, Sodom and Rolento, and basically, being able to, keep items across, multiple stages. And you can see how, like, in a lot of cases, you pretty much just want to trap enemies. Get them into a corner, And then basically when you have them boxed in there, you can do the kind of aerial cycling between the weak and strong attacks like that, so you can kind of get them really quick. The other thing too, of course, is that like weapons have health. All of the pickups in the game, unlike the original Final Fight, actually have health. So even like like a sword, I can throw it up in the air, so I can just keep hitting it. I can destroy it. Although a thing you can do to actually keep these things alive is that if a weapon gets destroyed, you can actually, if it's still in midair, you can catch it in midair, or if you catch it before it flickers out, you can actually keep it alive. So that's something you can do too. See there, I kind of blew it. I probably, like, I let too many of these, things, turn into weapons. I probably should have let more of the enemies actually break this shit. You can see there, like, I stayed in the pile drive instead of switching between the two things. Also, like, another strategy too, another thing to keep in mind, is that there is specific logic that's different for human players versus computer players. So, for example, for human players, when they get juggled, it actually doesn't do damage to them, because I didn't want somebody just to get completely raped while they were up in the air. But of course, enemies can just essentially just get murdered while they're in midair. And so, a smart thing to do, also when your animations are like your recovery animation, I actually don't let the player get hurt then. If you get knocked down and there's a Molotov that's its flames are around you, it's probably a good idea to not hold down the buttons to more quickly get up, because you actually want to wait till the flames disappear before you get into your idle animation and can actually be hurt again. Now see, here's another example too, where you can just see like how you can just completely rape the bosses. So basically the way this level works is that until you get halfway through the stage where the skull is, Sodom doesn't activate, and the enemy spawn points on the left side of the screen don't activate. So if you're still kind of like shuffling around here, you don't really have a problem. Now see, I want to show you what you can do here. I can backwalk into this shit. I can throw the Molotov down. I can pick this guy up and look at this shit. Look at that. I just fucking raped him. I just completely fucking raped him. He just instantly died. And now notice I'm picking up his sword. So if you have a Molotov on a boss stage, you can basically instantly end the boss fight with a character like Hagar, who can both pick up Molotov and also carry characters, because like I said, you can just literally hold their feet to the fire and just instantly just melt them. The other thing too is when you break the car, that is also kind of like a quote-unquote secret, because it modifies the color of Bread's car on the second bonus stage and at the end of the game. So it's technically like a modifier there. Yeah, one thing that I'll probably never stop changing is, it seems like however much I reduce the health of the car, I keep wishing I had reduced it more. The car takes too long to destroy in this version of the game. Not particularly happy with it. One thing that I do like doing here is... oh, the hood is still... so the intention here basically is just to be able to knock that the car into that cocksucker. Okay, so basically, what you're gonna notice now is, so I have Sodom's sword, right? And you notice that like when I grab it, see how it doesn't have a health bar? Because Sodom's sword is actually invincible, like it can't be broken. And so basically, what you have to do here for this secret is you have to essentially carry his sword all the way to the end of the game. Which is actually more of a pain in the ass than it seems like, because you would just think like, well, it can't be broken, so how hard can it be, right? Well, the thing is, it can get knocked off the side of the screen. So what you're really going to see here is, I'm going to be throwing, basically just knocking the sword you know, as much as possible, just kind of like to the right of the screen, even like off the screen, because I don't want to get like hit, and then you know, something happens where this shit gets, you know, knocked off of the screen. So see there how I instantly dropped Elgato just so I could quickly pick up the health, because like I said, I really want those health pickups. I do not want to let roast. I do not want to let any of those health pickups go to waste, because like I said, if you really want to do this without dying, it's really important that you you know, get essentially every health pickup you can get. Another thing too that you're going to see that I do on this level is that this is kind of like another kind of you know, difference to this game, is that you can break stuff, you know, like when it's off the screen. And so basically, you know, for the West Side stage, the way the you know, like Andore abduction event works is that when you're far enough through the screen and you can see the door on the right, basically the enemy's going to break the door and he's going to you know, charge you. And so obviously, like, you want to prevent that from happening, because you know, you don't see, actually I really fucked this up. See how I broke the door there? Because see, basically, like, I'm gonna be really careful about this shit, because if you let this you know, Andore character that I just killed, the blue guy here, if you let him grab you, he's gonna carry you to the ring stage, and then and that ends it. Like, once that happens, you lose Sodom's sword and you can't do the secret ending. So like, you really have to keep that sword alive. You have to prevent yourself from going to the ring stage. So you really have to skip that stage for this to work. Yeah, this fucker's gonna throw that at me. So you can see I'm just kind of controlling them. I'm just kind of keeping them moving right. You know, trying to keep the sword moving right. And you notice too, just like how much you really want to use the pile driver for invulnerability. Because the thing is like the pile driver is actually kind of like double invulnerability in some respects, because not only does it have invincibility frames, it also it makes enemies that you're holding a human shield. And so, you know, if you're like, so for example here, you know, like when I do a backwards pile driver with a character, I mean, not only, see, like here, like not only do I have invincibility frames, but if anybody throws anything at me or does anything to me, you know, Wong Hu there is going to absorb, you know, all of those hits. So basically doing a pile driver, you know, like away from dangerous enemies is actually, you know, really, you know, powerful, really useful. Yeah, and you notice there too how, you know, I'm trying to prevent 2P from actually getting behind me. And then, you know, here, and then once again here, I'm gonna basically just try to trap this guy in a corner, just try to end it quickly. I mean, that's really generally what you want to do with the bosses in this game. You just want to end it quickly, because basically the, you know, like the normal enemies are just gonna keep spawning. And see here, of course, I want to pick up the sword instantly, because if you're not holding it when the level ends, you're not going to carry it to the next stage. And again, it's like the whole point of this is I'm trying to keep the sword alive throughout the entire game. So again here, I'm just going to try to knock this shit forward, try to get a, you know, little look at where the flame spawn points are, just so I don't get hit so much, even though I still am. See, I'm just kind of, you know, I'm just trying to kind of keep this thing alive. Keep knocking it forward. That fucker is gonna, you know, go for me because my back was to him. See, this fucker is gonna go for me. See, look at that motherfucker. Yeah, and so, and really, in a sense, the elevator stage. See, look at how much priority that slide had. I mean, even though I was in the, you know, the dive bomb animation, you know, it still had priority. Like, it has a shitload of priority. It's actually a really strong move. See here, again, I'm probably an idiot. I should have, you know, let the enemies break this stuff. There, I'm gonna want to just go here because enemy broke that. See this thing too, I broke it, which, you know, kind of lowered my odds of, you know, getting a health pickup. Yeah, so again, I'm basically just gonna want to carry this shit. Keep moving with it. It's really dangerous to get knocked off of the screen to, you know, on the left side, because if that happens, it's really easy to lose the sword. But I'm trying to, like, round these guys up, you know, so they're not behind me. Even though I'm not doing a very good job of it right now. I mean, as long as you have, like, a white health bar, you know, you're doing okay. And okay, so basically here, too, you know, I have kind of, like, another, you know, like, problematic situation where, I'm gonna want to make sure that when the last enemy dies here, that I'm actually holding the sword, because I don't want the level to end and for everything to fade out, when I'm not holding the sword. You know, because I said the idea is to keep this thing alive. See, even this is kind of stupid. Like I really probably shouldn't be hovering over so far to the left side of the screen. It's dangerous because I don't want to, you know, get the sword, you know, like, knocked off of the screen. Like, that was actually really stupid. So I'm gonna kind of be watching, you know, like, how many enemies are on the screen, and kind of looking, and basically, like, when they kind of start to thin out, I'll know that I'm approaching the number of enemies that have to be killed before the level can end. And then once that happens, I'm gonna want to kind of, you know, stay on top of the sword so that I can make sure that I can pick it up and have it when I'm going to the next stage here. And they are thinning out a little bit. Yeah, so I mean, basically, like, the elevator stage is it's all about crowd control. That stage, it basically, like, in, you know, just generally speaking, what you really have to do to beat this game without dying, is you have to have enough health to survive. Oh shit! You have to have enough health to survive the elevator stage. Because it gets really chaotic with this many enemies. There are just so many enemies here, and in fact, I'm basically just gonna, you know, hang out here and just try to use the barrel to kind of clean out a lot of these enemies. Even though you can you can use the knockback move to knock back the barrel. If you just kind of want to play it safe, it can be smart to just, you know, kind of jump attack the barrel, and when it gets knocked back, then you can, you know, basically do your knockback on it to knock it into all the other enemies. But yeah, you basically just want to kind of, you know, keep these guys away from you, keep knocking the barrel around, you know, oh shit, see there, that was bad. I should have timed that better. But yeah, they're gonna keep knocking stuff into you, and see how, you know, you can take advantage of, you know, like, throw invulnerability frames and, you know, special attack to make sure that, like, the barrel actually isn't hitting you, and you can just kind of, you know, try to stay alive here. The enemies will thin out a lot once Rolento gets off his ladder. Because you'll notice too that now that we're at the top of the elevator, the only new spawns are coming from the characters that are coming up from the bottom of the screen. They're not going to keep dropping from the sky once you actually hit the top of the elevator. You know, in older versions of the game, the enemies actually kept spawning from the sky even when you were at the top of the elevator, which was funny enough to the point where I almost didn't want to get rid of it. It's kind of silly. So yeah, as you can see there, you know, I'm using the special attack with some, you know, invincibility frames, you know, just so, because I really don't want to get hit by the drum can if I don't have to. I'm gonna basically try to keep hitting Rolento here, because again, it's like generally you just want to end this as quickly as possible, and I also kind of want him to die relatively close to where the sword is, because again, I don't want to blow it and miss this thing. Okay, so I got it. And so, I mean, you can save Rolento. I guess that's another, like, secret thing I could have done. Doesn't really matter, doesn't really affect the ending, but I guess technically that is, one thing I didn't do. You can stop Rolento's grenades from exploding and, save his life. But then if you do that, Rolento's corpse won't come down, which is, the second secret that I'm actually trying to do here. So, okay, so on the industrial bonus stage, Rolento's corpse comes down, and so what you're going to want to do with this is you basically want to be carrying this shit off the stage. So you can see now I actually brought the corpse into the Bay Area stage. And again, just like the sword, I'm going to keep knocking it forward. I want to keep it alive. Rolento's corpse was meant to be weaponized, so you can oh, see that's bad. Oh shit, that's so bad. That's so bad. I'm so close to fucking losing it right there. See, I really need to get this sword, off of the screen to the right. Same thing with Rolento's corpse. You really got to keep moving this shit around, because, like, see, look at that, how easy it is, to lose that shit and get it, knocked off the side of the screen there. I want to pick up whatever that was. And the funny thing is, it's like, this is actually, like the wider your monitor, the easier it actually is to do this shit. Because if you think about it, like if you're playing at like 1:1 aspect ratio or something, it's really fucking easy for the sword and the corpse to get knocked off to the side of the screen. So in a sense, I mean, I am kind of bitching out here. Playing ultra wide makes this, actually quite a bit easier than it could be otherwise. So yeah, I'm gonna try to keep this alive. This can actually be kind of tricky, because you kind of have to get the timing just right after Abigail to actually keep everything. That's gonna hit me. Oh man, yeah, I knew it. So yeah, so you can see I'm just kind of trying to. I'm losing some health. I'm getting hit a little bit more just because I'm like being a little bit paranoid about the pickups here, just to make sure they stay on the screen. I kind of want to let some of these guys like knock some of the barrels and crates and stuff in here, because like I said, if I hit them, then they're not going to drop health pickups. Even though there I got fucking lucky. Oh shit. So you can see how like I'm dropping enemies. I'm really trying to make sure I get all of those pickups. See, and now I'm back up to white health again. And like I said, it's really what you have to do. It's all about staying alive until you get to the Bay Area stage, replenishing health, and then hoping you have enough health to deal with the bullshit that is Belcher. Because with this many enemies, Belcher is actually kind of bullshit. It's difficult, it's difficult to manage everything. Yeah, I'm just once again, I'm trying to kind of keep everything here. This guy's gonna go for me. Oh shit. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, basically, like I said, I'm just gonna keep pushing this. I'm gonna drop the character so I can quickly pick up that item. Yeah, it's way easier to do this stuff like when you're not actually worried about dying too. Like when you're trying to do it without dying and trying to keep all this shit on the screen. You know, it does become a pain in the ass. So see there, dive bombing into the sword, knocking it back, dive bombing into Relentless Corpse, knocking it back. Another thing too that you can look out for with the enemies in this game is that, so enemies have like what's called, enemies have what's called like reorientation behavior. So if they get kind of stuck or lost, they have, you know, kind of like waypoints that they can use to, you know, get back, you know, on track. And so if you see a character, you know, kind of doing that, you know, kind of just like moving straight up and down and kind of like realigning, that's actually a pretty good time to attack them. They're pretty vulnerable then because they're so busy trying to realign, they're probably not trying to kill you. And I'm gonna keep pushing this forward. Oh shit, that was dumb. That was really fucking stupid. Like I said, you always want, you know, to do pile drivers that are going to bounce the, you know, enemy forward. See this too. I purposely dropped the sword there because I'm going to pick this shit up and I don't want to get hit and then drop the sword and then have it get knocked off the screen. Like, you really have to take that shit into consideration when you're trying to do this. Like I said, it's so easy. It's so fucking easy to lose the weapon. And lose Relentless Corpse too. But at the same time, you want those health pickups. You want to get as many of them as you can. Okay, gonna... Shit. See, I'm gonna have to pick him up. Get him out of here. Yeah, and basically, like, right now, a mistake I've been making, I've been kind of underusing the knockback move. The knockback move is, like, really fucking useful for positioning. You know, it's there for a reason. You know, it's not like there's any shortage of it. If shit's in your way, it's, like, really useful. It's just kind of easy to, you know, forget, you know, what the best move to make is when, you know, you're focused on, you know, keeping those two items on the screen. Because even if I screw up and die, I still want to do the secrets just to kind of show, like, how you would do it. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that too. You know, like when you hit an enemy, you're going to reset their enemy decision timer. And so it's a good way to stall, a good way to take an enemy, you know, out of the way for a little bit when you're gonna like reposition or do something else. So sometimes, you know, that's a smart thing to do. See that fucker, you know, took the beer. The enemies actually pretty aggressively, you know, pick up health items, and that's the thing too. When they pick up health items, they actually get more health. You know, so it's doubly awful. Like, you really don't want to let them get it. Gotta pile drive this dog. So it's going okay so far. Yeah, again, you know, you have a lot of invincibility frames on the pile driver, so I'm, you know, totally taking advantage of that. And that's the other thing too, if it isn't clear. So all of the items, all of them actually give you health. You know, some of them don't give you as much, but don't think because it's like a radio or something, it's not worth picking up. Everything is worth picking up. It's because I said basically this game's single player, like arcade mode, it doesn't have points, and so this health stuff is entirely determined by the items you pick up. So you always want to pick things up. And just keep knocking this forward. See, that asshole was going to try to charge me in the back. It's also true of Axel and Slash. If you're not moving, if you're not playing aggressive, and they're behind you, they will try to do their charge pummel attack and hit you. And so I mean, generally speaking, the thing you want to do with this is just stay aggressive. It's by far the most effective thing to do. So okay, so we got Abigail to spawn here. Again, like with all the bosses in this game, you basically just want to end it fast. You want to group everybody up, get them in the corner, where they're vulnerable, and then basically just keep them up in the air, cycle between your weak, strong, and special attacks. Just keep them in the air. Another thing too, another really good strategy. See how I have two enemies that are actually in their like frightened state? That's really advantageous because basically it means that they're not trying to kill me, and they're using up 2 of the 11 enemy slots. So it basically means that I only have to worry about 9 enemies. Okay, so here you got to time this very specifically. You basically don't want to pick up Rolento too early. So see how I timed that? Just so I carried him to the next stage? Because basically, if you pick up Rolento too early, you can drop him before the stage fades out, and then you lose him, and you don't get to carry him to the next level. And that's the entire thing that we're trying to do here. We're trying to bring Sodom's sword and Rolento's corpse to the end of the game. Yeah, it was kind of bad. Yeah, I'm gonna want to keep kind of. I'm so close here that I'm really trying to not bungle this. See, that's bad. I really, fuck me, man. I really need to, keep knocking this sword forward. Because, once again, see how easy it is? See how quickly it can just get juggled off to the left of the screen? It's so easy to lose these things. So here, this is pretty safe, because where we are right now actually counts as kind of like a soft end of the level. And so you'll notice that Rolento and the sword actually can't be knocked off to the right side of the screen, so I really don't have to worry about them right now. I can just kind of leave them there, and I kind of have, a lot of, free time here just to deal with these guys however I want to, because I'm basically, in complete control of when I decide to go up the elevator. Roast this guy. Nice knowing you. Yeah, so I only have a few more of these guys to go. And this is going to be the same thing, too, where you're also... notice how I'm kind of dropping it right by the elevator? Because, again, I don't want to bungle this. I don't want, something stupid to happen where I am walking towards the elevator and I happen to drop Rolento's corpse, right before the elevator goes up or something. You can, really screw it there. So see here, it's right there, and boom. Get on the elevator, carry the corpse up. The grab timer actually doesn't tick when you're in the elevator, so you don't have to worry about that. You can basically just, you just want to get out of there, as soon as you can after the elevator door opens, so that it's still, it's all available. So basically, as you see here, that the first thing I'm gonna want to do, just knock that shit off the screen. Get it as far to the right as possible, because you do not want to. Lose this shit by getting it knocked off to the left side of the screen. And another thing too, that's going to be important is this stage ends very quickly. You know, basically, like like if there are no enemies alive, and you reach the end of the stage, like the level just ends. And so you want to be really careful that that it doesn't fall in a way. Ah, shit. That's bad. You want to be really careful so that it doesn't fall in a way where the level ends like right as you scroll onto to the end of the screen. That can happen, and that is like really fucking bad because then the level can just end, and you won't be holding Rolento, or you won't be holding the sword or something, and then so much for your secret run. Yeah, see how like I'm kind of trying to make sure I want at least one enemy alive here. Oh shit! See, this is bad. I want one enemy alive here when I get to the end of this because I don't want this level to end when I don't have the items. So a good way to do this is kind of, you take care of who you can take care of. Maybe keep one guy alive or something. Just kind of try to play it safe. Yeah, I'm just, so it looks like I only have a few. Yeah, so it looks like, looks like Andor might be the last. No, I still got a Jake here too. No, actually, still have quite a few. So depending on how many, like base enemies you have, it impacts how many enemies spawn in different parts of the game. But it looks like I'm running out now. It looks like he's going to be the last one. Looks like, yeah, it looks like he's going to be the last one. See, I don't want to fuck around here too much because... I'm going to want to... Yeah, see, so of course you want to really make sure that you time it right so that you're holding Rolento and the sword when the stage ends. It's actually pretty nuts, like what a bitch it is to get this ending. I mean, of course, like I said, there are things you can do to make it easier. I mean, you could play with fewer enemies. You could, oh, really, that's about it. And again, I really need to make sure that I'm knocking all of this stuff forward. And again, I don't want to hit the end of the stage and, find out that, there are no enemies left. See, that's bad, knocking them to the left. So you want to keep landing those pile drivers so you keep the two items moving to the right. Yeah, I don't want the level to immediately end when I scroll to the end of the level. So I'm trying to kind of make sure there's at least somebody alive. Because that's the thing too, this game moves basically at your own pace. Like, you're basically just controlling the flow of enemies. It's not like it just has, like, checkpoints like the original game, where they're forced. Like, every time you play it, the enemy spawns are random. As long as you keep it moving and the characters aren't against the edge of the camera, everything is going to keep moving. Okay, so we got everybody here. I'm gonna try to, basically keep facing right here because I want to keep knocking all this shit forward. This might... I'm getting close. Yeah, so basically, other than, handling this part of it, the main concern is you know, not bungling, you know, getting it to Belger. Once you're actually at Belger, you're pretty much safe because it's possible to, you know, just kind of shit. It's possible. Shit. It's possible to just kind of, you know, knock the weapon around to the right side of the screen. Okay, so. Man, I need to be really careful about how I kill this guy. Make sure I don't bungle this. Okay, so far so good. I gotta keep moving this shit. And like I said, I could still blow this. You know, because if at any point here, you know, I lose, you know, these items, I'm still fucked. Like, basically, I have to have them, you know, like, you know, where the camera for the level actually ends. So you can see I'm really playing this shit safe. You know, there I didn't even pick up the, you know, pineapple. It's just like, fuck it. I probably have enough health to survive Belger. Maybe, maybe not. And again, it just kind of depends on like how the dice rolls on that shit too. See how I walked forward and just barely missed his slide? It was like so close. So yeah, so just about so basically, like, I don't want to screw this up and like lose the sword. So what I need to do here, fuck. The main things I need to do are just like not fucking die, which is easier said than done. Like, this is such a shit show with 11 enemies. It's just, and basically it's even worse because I don't even have Jessica. You know, I can't even use her as like a human shield. Gotta use this guy as a... Okay, and so, yeah, so... And so basically, like, you know, for Belger, you gotta, like, it's all about, you know, like, you know, basically Z positioning, because... You really just kind of want to, you know, trap them here like everybody else. Okay, well, so that's pretty good. So I'm pretty safe now. I do need to be holding the sword when this ends, though. That's the other thing that's kind of a bitch. And I said I have all these assholes that are going to be coming up behind me. And... oh, fuck. Alright. Alright, there we go. Alright, here we go. So, that's pretty much it. We can see the ending here.
Oh my god!
Yeah, okay, so and then we have the oh, notice how like Hagar's red palette there, you know, shows even in the endings, because that's what I was playing as. And notice how he's carrying the sword. Yeah, all of the, grabbed objects carry through the levels. And so then, after the credits walk through, there'll be one more ending modifier, and that's pretty much it. So like I said, this is a big bitch. The less wide your screen, more of a pain in the ass it is to do. But that is it, though. It's doable. And this was with 11 enemies, 11 base enemies. So that's it. That's the all secret, no death run.